Now this is podcasting. I'm your host, Macsrebo.
And I am your father,
Michael. And this episode is a very special episode because this episode we have our very first guest on our show, Justin.
Hey everybody, how we doing?
Good.
all right.
So we have a few questions for you.
Well, who is Justin?
Yeah. Who are you?
Well,
Yeah, we know you.
Who I am starts a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But you guys met me through the 501st Legion.
Yes.
I am the current commanding officer of the 501st Legion's Empire City Garrison. That's the garrison right here in New York. We control events for Long Island, New York City, and Hudson Valley area. I've been in my second term as CO, and being even a member of the 501st is one of the most fun and fulfilling things I've ever done.
all right. And
Nice.
what is
Yeah,
the
what is the
501st?
501st?
Okay. The 501st Legion is the world's largest organized costume group. We depict the villains of Star Wars. Every one of our costumes is 100% screen accurate. A lot of people, mistake 501st members for cosplayers, and we are not. We are costumers. We don't look to create interpretations of costumes. We look to replicate what was seen on film. That's one of the biggest differences. The 501st Legion, like the requirements are you just have to be 18 years old or older. Sorry, sweetheart. You'll get there one day. And you have to have a screen accurate approved costume. Again, they're villain costumes. And then what we do is once you're approved and you're a member, we get out there and we support local communities, charities. We attend comic conventions like New York Comic Con, Eternal Con, Cradle Con. But every now and then we actually get called upon by Lucasfilm. And we get to do some pretty cool things. For example, we're going to be at Yankee Stadium on May 2nd for their Star Wars Day. You guys know you've seen us plenty of times at the New York Islanders.
Yeah.
We love going there to UBS Arena. We even every now and then get asked to do promotional events for Lucasfilm. Like we may or may not be doing promotional events for the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I'm sworn to secrecy, so I can't say anything. Um, and one thing I will tell you that we're doing, we will be on stage with Weird Al Yankovic again at UBS Arena in July.
Nice.
So we get to do some pretty cool things.
Okay. All right.
Cool. So why do people have to be 18 to join?
I think they pretty much just want you to be an adult. Although some people mature faster than others.
And part of the 501st is visiting hospitals.
Yes, that is one of my favorite things to do. We were just this past weekend at Stony Brook Children's Hospital. We do several visits to the Cohen's Children's Hospital, Stony Brook Children's Hospital, and it's some of the most fulfilling work we do.
Okay. And is that why also you need to be 18?
I believe you'd have to be 18 or no, you know what? I don't think so. I think they just pretty much want people to be an adult. I don't know the actual reasons for 18 and older. Um, I think it has to do with legal ages and certain things that we'll be doing. Once you're 18, you're legally allowed to do certain things that you're not when you're 16. So I think it falls upon that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I enjoy seeing you guys at the Yankee games too. That really is one of my favorite times at the Star Wars games.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we love attending the sports games like the Islanders. We're actually going to be at the New York Mets this year too. We haven't been there in a while. But like the 501st Legion is a worldwide organization. And we have garrisons in every state throughout the United States of America and in more than 66 countries across the world. So like each garrison usually has its like flagship event. For example, the New England garrison loves to do the Boston Red Sox games. They have a Star Wars night. In New Jersey, there's a garrison called Northeast Remnant, and they love doing the Devils hockey game, which they just had recently. So, like, it, there's a little bit for everybody.
So how did you get involved with the 501st? Like,
Okay, so I was what you call a 501st stalker. I first learned about the 501st Legion, I believe it was in 2011. I had attended my first New York Comic Con. Um, I remember seeing the Stormtroopers walking by and thinking to myself, oh my God, that's amazing. They look incredible. And I followed them back to their table, and I saw all the banners, the 501st Legion. I talked to all of them, took photographs with all of them, got their cards, and I started attending more and more events like conventions, smaller conventions on Long Island. And again, I'm just seeing the 501st Legion over and over and over again. I grew up on Star Wars. Like it was my entire childhood. I was a young kid when the original trilogy came out, and it just changed my life forever. So seeing these, screen accurate costumes, just walking around at conventions, it was incredible. Um, I guess the right way to say it was the time wasn't right for probably the next 10 years. And finally, I was turning 50 years old, and one of my closest friends said to me, you know what, you've always dreamed of, like creating one of these costumes and joining these guys, it's time, it's time for you to do this. And I was like, no, it's a lot of money, and it, it's never going to work. And it turns out that the entire community in East Meadow kind of band together and threw a fundraiser to pay for my first costume to join to the 501st.
wow.
I've always been, a man of community and charity. I've always raised money for charitable organizations in the past, and the idea that the community came together to help me purchase my first costume was, it was incredible.
That's so
It was
amazing.
wonderful. Yeah, it 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 was very touching. And then, like I did what I do. I got my first costume and I got approved. And coincidentally enough, my very first troop was New York Comic Con 2021. Exactly 10 years, and
Wow.
the very same venue that I first saw them at.
I would have
So
Wow.
thought you've been doing this for a decade.
I everybody thinks that I've been doing this for 100 years. Even the guys that are in the 501st that have been doing it 100 years, they tell me that they
Hmm.
all think that I've been around forever. But yeah, I'm actually going on my fifth year. Um,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, yeah. And again, like one of the most fulfilling, fun things I've ever done in my life,
Nice.
you know.
So what
Yeah.
is your favorite part of trooping? And what is trooping?
Okay. So every time we get together for an event, we call it a troop. All right. It could be an event at a library, a community event like a street fair, or a charitable walk. Like, for example, the Special Olympics has walks, they have polar plunges, conventions, children's hospitals, whatever it may be, that event we call a troop. And everybody has their favorite events that they like to go to. I mean, how could I choose, one over the other? They're all different, Yes, some troops are a little dull. Going to a library troop where there's three kids that see you and they don't even know what Star Wars is. And then you go to, like the New York Yankees and you're walking the field and people are shouting and screaming and it's incredible. What is my favorite troop? My favorite troop is any event where I am with the people that I enjoy being with my friends, with my space family, as we call it. If we're in large numbers, I love it. I love seeing a bunch of stormtroopers with Darth Vader and an officer, and I love seeing the abstract characters like Walrus Man or a Wampa at, some of these bigger events. Are there troops that are more meaningful than others? Yes. The Children's Hospital, they they really hit you in the heart. The New York Yankees is an incredible troop. They treat us very well, and we have a great time there. And then every now and then, like you hit the troops that you don't expect. Like a car show could be a lot of fun. A library troop could be a lot of fun. The street fairs that we go to, for example, there's a street fair that I went to last year that you guys invited me to. And it was just me and one other member, and we were just walking up the street, and we had the time of our lives. We can't wait for that event, again. Even if it's just me and my friend again, we just want to do it and have a great time because it was a lot of fun. So, it changes from time to time, experience to experience. It's real. I look at it as like a whole, like these troops. I attend every troop that I possibly can. I troop almost every weekend, and it's kind of become a lifestyle.
And I noticed that one troop I spoke to some of the people that were there, and I had asked them if they were going to be attending a such and such event in the future. They said no, because I dress as Darth Vader and there's already a Darth Vader signed up for that event. So I can't be there unless I go as a different character, unless I guess if they have another character that they are approved for, it
Yep.
could be their backup.
Yep. That happens quite a bit. We have what we call face characters. Um, Darth Vader, for example. There can't be two Darth Vaders in an event. There can only be one. The Mandalorian, for example, Din Djarin. There can only be one. Um, when it comes to the face characters, we have a thing, we have our sign up sheets, and it's usually first come, first serve. So if you've got two people that have Darth Vader costumes, they both want to attend that event, it's usually whoever signs up first. And then very often, like something will happen in the life of, Darth Vader and they won't be able to attend the event. So they'll sign off that they're not able to make it. And then the next person in line will step in. We sometimes do when it comes to the bigger events like Weird Al Yankovic, for example. They look for specifically stormtroopers and a Darth Vader. And we try to juggle that around so that people that haven't had that experience will have that experience. Like, for the signups for the most recent Weird Al, we wanted to get a Darth Vader that hadn't done it before, or, like stormtroopers that hadn't done it before, handlers that hadn't done it before. This way we give everybody an opportunity for the more what we call the pristine troops.
Awesome.
Nice. So, what is your favorite like outfit to wear, and what is like the most hardest to like wear at a
Okay, so can I tell you it's the same one? It is definitely, I have a Wampa costume. And it was a ridiculous dream costume that I never thought would ever, come to be. I had a running joke with the guys in the garrison. I wanted to create the most ridiculous costume that's possibly approvable in the 501st. And I'm going through the whole list of costumes and I see Wampa and I went, what? Like you could be a Wampa in the 501st. Like that's insane. And I'm looking through it and there are only like 14 or 15 Wampas like approved throughout all of the 501st, and I think only a few of them are active. And I remember doing research and trying to, I couldn't build this thing myself. I had help. I went through some craziness trying to get this costume made. I hit a lot of brick walls. At one point, there was somebody in the 501st selling a Wampa costume, and I was this close, and at last minute he backed out. Then I met a woman who builds costumes for a living, and she was ecstatic about the idea of building this costume. And we got together and we did a lot of work together. And about a year and a half later, this giant, furry, hot, crazy costume was approved by the Legion, and I absolutely love and adore that Wampa costume. It probably my favorite because I never thought it would ever come to be, but oh my God, is it hard to wear. I'm
It's a
standing on
showstopper.
stilts. I was
Yeah.
standing on stilts covered in yak hair.
Mhm. You must
It
be very hot in it. I mean,
oh well, let's just say I probably lose 5 pounds in water weight every time I wear that costume. And when I take the arms off, you can see the steam, like
wow.
coming off of my skin.
Is there
So
something
yeah,
that
it's a
in
hot
it, or
costume.
do you have something in it that like a cooling suit?
I have a cooling vest that I tried out for the first time at the New York Islanders this past year. And it lasted for about 40 minutes. And I think at one point the cool cells are like liquid,
Mhm.
well they're ice when you first put them on, and then I think they were boiling like afterwards, like literally. So, but it helped, it helped. And I do it. I love it. It's so much fun being in that costume. It
Every
really is.
time when I'm Hera and you're the Wampa, I'm scared of like my green face paint getting on the white hair. And like the only time I wasn't Hera when you were the Wampa was at the Islanders
Was
game.
at the Islanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I loved looking down and seeing you guys, and I was like, there they are. They found me, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
I know from my armor helmet that we have no fans in it, but like the whole view is like fogged up every like few seconds, so I have to take it off. Like,
Hmm.
what are some tips for that? Like, do you
Well,
like put fans in it?
okay. A lot of our troopers have a fan system inside their helmets. Now, whenever you have something like that, you're also sacrificing something, and that's usually the ability to hear. Because the fans are very quiet, but they still make that little humming sound. Um, that kind of keeps the air moving around your face, which is nice, and it definitely keeps the eyes from fogging up. I don't have fans in any of my helmets. I use what they have. It's like a diver's spit. It's a chemical that you can buy, and I spray it on the inside of my lenses before I put the helmet on, and it's good for like 2, 3 troops before I start fogging up again. So that was definitely something that you could look into.
Okay.
Yep. Fans are nice too. I don't have a lot of experience with them.
Yeah. And so, usually, as you were saying, how it gets noisy and you can't really hear, a lot of my costumes, I use headpieces, and
Hmm.
so my ears are like so tight together that I can't really hear anything.
Yeah.
And so, it's always a problem. You always, when you're doing like a costume and something, you always have to like, you always have a problem with it or something that's difficult with it. Like some outfits I can't hear, some outfits I can't move my hands or something like that.
Well, I would say that for anybody that wants to be in any of these type of costumes, like don't overdo it. Do what you can. Stormtroopers, for example, have limited visibility. They literally like anything from here down, they can't see. Very often, like we'll have little kids run up to us and we'll feel them, but we won't be able to see them. Also, one of the biggest weaknesses of stormtroopers, stairs. They cannot go up and down stairs. It's actually comical to watch them going up the stairs. Um, so
I
yes,
thought you were going to say shooting their targets, but yeah, I guess stairs.
see, that's rebel propaganda. That's rebel propaganda. Stormtroopers are actually good shots. Um, but yes. So again, when it comes to your costume, like do what you can. Like even in my Wampa costume, if we usually have a handler not far away, and if we're having a problem, we can signal that handler, and they know to come up to us and make sure everything's okay. There are times where our members just need what we call a helmet break, and they'll go into our changing room or a back area and they'll take the helmet off and just, breathe for a few minutes without the helmet on. Like I do that with the Wampa all the time. I'll take the headpiece off and the arms off and just take a little break. I have this giant like chair, this high chair that I sit in because when I'm in the stilts, I can't sit in a regular chair, like it's too low. So I have a high chair and I'll go and I'll sit there. We call it the diva chair, the Wampa diva chair, so yeah. So again, like people should like definitely learn their limits. I've seen people have a lot of problems in costumes. I've seen people struggle. And again, do what you can. Do a little bit at a time. Get used to it. A lot of it, like I imagine, that when you're wearing your headphones as Hera, um, when you were first doing it, was a lot more difficult than it is for you now because
Yeah,
you've gotten used to it. You've learned what your limitations are.
definitely. Yeah. Because I kind of got used to it. The more and more when I wear it, I kind of got used to like how low it is and everything. And then I kind of like every time I wear it, everyone like speaks a little bit louder every time they talk. And my one of my also questions is where do you recommend like getting the costumes from to like join the 501st or any of the groups?
Well, any of these groups. The 501st Legion has very strict costume guidelines. When you go to the 501st website, which is 501stlegion.com or 501st.com, they have a section on their website called the Costume Reference Library. And in that library is a listing of every single costume that is approvable by the 501st. All of these costumes are also broken down by what we call detachments. For example, if you wanted to be a stormtrooper, that's part of the First Imperial Stormtrooper Detachment, or FISD. They have their own website. You can go to them and you can ask, very simply other members where to farm a lot of these parts. We know of a lot of vendors. The one thing we recommend anybody that wants to join the 501st, please, before you make purchases, reach out to the 501st, reach out to your local garrison. Tell them what you want to do, tell them which costume you want to build, and I promise you they will help you. Like we had people at an event just this past weekend asking how to, put together a stormtrooper costume, and we were giving them all kinds of information. These costumes are very expensive. And we don't want anybody to go down the rabbit hole of making purchases for items that are not approvable. Because we've seen people invest, for example, $5,000 in a Boba Fett costume and the
Wow.
costume not be approvable. And they essentially now have a $5,000 Halloween costume. We don't want to see anybody do that. Like we want to help everybody to. I don't care what it is. You want to be just an officer, you want to be Boba Fett, Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, Scout Trooper, which was my first costume. the Royal Guard, whatever it is, we will help you find those parts. There are tons and tons of vendors, and we have tons and tons of information. Every one of these costumes has been meticulously studied to the point where we make great replicas of these costumes.
Now, somebody can go to the 501st and say, for instance, Chicago. We go to Chicago Fan Expo. It's a completely different garrison.
Yep.
If somebody lives in any one of these areas, they can go to the website and see if there's one, or
You could look up.
contact with them.
Yes, on the 501st website is all of this information. You can figure out, like what your local garrison is. Like there's a whole map and it shows you all the different garrisons in all the different areas. The costume reference library is there. The listing of detachments is there. Everything is there. But like it's a lot, like it's a very, very large organization. It's a very meticulous organization. So my recommendation for anyone that wants to join the 501st Legion is to reach out to their local garrison, talk to them, meet them, show up where they are, and learn more about what they do, how they do it, why they do it. And the one thing that most of these people love to do, like let's say you want to build a Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper, which is one of my favorites, by the way. You want to build that costume. So you go to, an event where the 501st is going to be, and then there's a Scout Trooper. Go talk to him. Like he will love to tell you how he built that costume. I've never had anybody like the whole 10 years that I was a 501st stalker. Anytime I ran into a TIE fighter pilot, and he couldn't wait to tell me all about that costume. So definitely reach out to the local garrisons. That's the biggest thing. It can seem overwhelming. It can. There's a lot, but your local garrison is absolutely the best source.
I know one thing that you had recommended to Mackenzie when she was looking at, going into this, how do you call it? The
Costuming.
costuming, was that the advantage of being a scout trooper is that she can grow into it. So as she continues to grow, I should say, she won't immediately grow out of the outfit.
Yep.
That particular trooper is a way that, we could get pieces for her now, and as she grows and scales up, we could just swap out those pieces.
And also,
Yeah.
doesn't the Scout Troopers like the front helmet go up?
Yes, it does.
Because that's like the good thing about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to like take time taking it off and then try to take time putting it on. You could just like put it up and then relax and then put it back down.
I will tell you one of the most fun things about being a scout trooper is standing in an event and we're all there and we're all really hot and sweating in our costumes, and you look at a stormtrooper and you pick up a drink and you just flip up the helmet while you're looking at him and then put the helmet back down. Is the greatest thing in the world.
Mhm.
Greatest thing in the world. You get a helmet break without needing to take a helmet break.
But
Yeah.
Vader can't do that.
No, no, no. He has to bathe in the living waters every time he does that. But yeah, no, there are a lot of great costumes. Not all costumes have helmets, like the officers don't have helmets, and um uh some of the like the bridge crew and stuff like that. That's a great way to get in, is usually with like a bridge crew costume, or it's a more simple costume. Um I've had plenty of people, they weren't sure, they didn't want to make a major investment, so they did something as simple as like a Star Wars bridge crew costume, where that's basically a jumpsuit, a hat, a belt, and boots. For just like probably you could probably get into something like that for like $300-400, in opposed to spending, $2,000 on armor. Um,
Mm.
And you can get out there and you could just see if you like it. It may not be for everyone, see if you like it. You're not making a major investment. And I mean, I will say that most people that do that wind up investing in armor and having a great time. But yeah, there's lots of ways to go at it.
Mm, thank you. So I know you're counting down the days to June 2033.
Did you like actually like do the math in your head?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very impressed.
So what happens in June 2033?
I'll turn 18.
You turn 18.
I can finally join. But I'm
Yes.
also I'm glad even though I'm not 18 yet, I'm still can troop because I'm part of the Galactic Academy, which
Yep,
are like kids that are younger than 18 who can dress up and
yep.
troop with like the 501st Rebel Legion and all that kind of stuff. And they can like have that fun even though you're not old enough. You can do certain stuff and certain events that you can troop. And it's really fun because you can dress up as who you want to be and everything like that.
Well, you have always been welcome at the 501st table. You know that.
Yeah.
All right. Always been welcome. So you've always been able to troop anyway.
Yeah. But it's been great because she just did the Girls in Science in STEAM
Yeah.
at the
Yep.
USS Intrepid. I was going to say USS Enterprise.
Well, the Enterprise is there.
Yeah.
But I also at the ship we were like walking around and there were stairs. And so I don't have my headpiece. I was doing Ahsoka, and so I can't look down. And so I was like, when I'm going down the stairs, I look like I'm blind.
Yeah, you're
And what's
carefully
going
feeling your
on?
way,
And I'm
right?
like
Yeah.
looking out to the distance while I'm looking down at the steps.
So you know what it's
And
like.
also, like, I have like this big knee type of thing, like these big boots, and so
Mhm.
I can't bend my knees as well. So it's type of hard too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sorry I missed you at that event.
Yeah.
There'll be
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
There'll be
there'll
more
be
in
more.
the.
There'll be
Yep.
more.
Yeah. I believe there's one that we got invited to up in Valhalla, in upstate
The
New
Ronald
York.
McDonald's.
In the
Oh, the Ronald McDonald that's next weekend, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so.
No, that's with the Hudson Valley group up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah. To be honest with you, I have always wanted to go to that event, and for one reason or another, there's always been something to interfere with it. So unfortunately, I will not be there this weekend, but yeah, I'm gonna get there someday. I'm gonna get to that event someday.
All right. All right. So you have New York Comic Con coming up in several months.
The next big convention we have coming up is CradleCon at the Cradle of Aviation.
Cradle
That's
Con.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's mine too.
Yeah.
That's
So the
mine
Cradle of
too.
Aviation located in Nassau County.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Garden City.
Yes. Yes. But it's also like Uniondale too. It's one of those it's pretty much on that Nassau Community College / Hofstra grounds over there. So I think it depends on what side of the building you're standing on as to which town you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I love is that it's a 2-for-1. Right. You go
Oh
to New York
yeah.
Comic Con, it's just a big empty convention center when
Yeah.
it's not, when they're not having an event. Whereas
Yep.
this, you still get to see
Yeah,
the
you get
museum
to see like the
pieces.
museum stuff.
Yep.
Even though there's like other things you can do there, you still like when you go to the con, like the convention, you get more stuff to do there because you can still look at all of the beautiful
The
planes
planes,
and
the
everything. And you can still
aerospace.
do
Yeah.
like some of like the activities for
The
the younger
interactive
kids.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's super fun.
It's awesome. I love the Cradle of
Yeah.
Aviation.
Like make believe. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We love the Cradle of Aviation. The 501st has a very good relationship with the Cradle. We come out to almost all their events.
I
It's
think
it's a lot of
Saturday is
fun.
the Mando. Is the Mando meetup?
Yeah.
Is that at CradleCon,
At
or is
Cradle,
that
yeah.
Yeah,
at
Yeah,
Cradle.
they're doing a Mandalorian and Grogu, like with the theme of the movie coming out. They're
very
doing
cool?
a certain time where they're doing a Mando meetup.
Well, it's very cool. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware, but yeah,
Cool.
very cool. Very
Yeah.
good. Probably they'll end up probably doing that right by our booth.
Probably. Yeah.
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 Yeah. All
Because
right.
you guys always have those backdrops and everything that you take photos with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll be bringing the Tatooine set again. We'll
Nice.
probably be bringing the speeder bike. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll have the backdrops. We'll be doing Blast the Trooper, and all those.
What is Blast the Trooper?
Okay, Blast the Trooper is one of the fun ways that the 501st makes money for charities. What we do is we set up a backdrop and we have a couple of stormtroopers standing in front of it. And for a donation, we allow kids and adults to shoot stormtroopers with Nerf guns. And it's one of our biggest money makers. It's a lot of fun for us. It's a lot of fun for the people that participate.
Awesome.
A lot of shenanigans goes on when we're doing Blast the Trooper. It's
And it really
um
gets messy too because there's like a whole bunch of like different
yeah.
stuff all
Yeah.
over the floor, and some people that are in costume like can't bend down. So
Nope.
I every time when I see someone like some on the ground, I always want to help and pick them up.
Well, you are more than welcome to come and be a dart collector anytime you want. We would love to have you for that. We'd even let you shoot the troopers for free. Yeah.
But
We
that's
have
awesome
two.
because you don't charge for photos.
No.
You have the backdrops. None of you get paid.
Nope.
So it's purely just a fundraiser. It's just so that you can raise funds for the charities that you select, and just the kids and family get to have an experience. And like you said, because you're not cosplaying and you're
No.
costuming, and
Yep.
it's screen accurate,
Yep.
that these kids can just be immersed and just think that this really is Darth Vader in front of me
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
Wampa.
And there is there's nothing like seeing the expression on people's faces when you turn the corner or they, find your
Sure.
booth or something like that. And I'm going to tell you this, my favorite thing that I see all the time in costume is the person hiding in the back that doesn't want to ask us for a photo, doesn't think they can ask us for a photo or something like that. And you see them and they're like,
just inching up with their phone.
that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. And those, when I catch those people, I walk right up on them
sure.
and surprise them. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
very fulfilling too. It really is. It's so addictive. Like I've worn my scout trooper costume to more than 130, troops.
Wow.
I've worn my stormtrooper costume to over 130 troops. The Wampa's been out 12 times already. It's it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very addictive, getting out there and doing what we do. And it feels good too. Like when I'm done with the Cradle of Aviation and we've just spent 2 exhausting days,
Mhm.
running the booths and Blast the Trooper and getting in and out of costume and organizing our people and coordinating with the venue and everything like that. It's exhausting, but it gives you such a feeling of fulfillment,
Yeah.
and even we always look for that one moment, that one little kid that just went, and ran up to a stormtrooper and hugged them. There's the little kid that shows up wearing a Darth Vader costume and can't wait to meet the real Darth Vader. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I will do this for as long as I possibly can.
Nice.
Every time when I'm like at a con and I'm dressing up and I'm like trooping or I'm like I have a table, I'm always like reaching down, giving them high fives, even if they're shy. I'm trying to like get them in and say like it's
Yep.
okay, like I'm just a simple character and like there's nothing to be afraid of. They're just people in costumes. And I saw somebody that was scared of a stormtrooper. I'm like, okay, they're not really scary, and if they shoot at you, they're gonna miss. So really, you're safe. And if Darth Vader, he is strong enough, he will force choke you in like a mile away, or throw his lightsaber. That's who you're supposed to be scared of.
That's a very good analogy. I like that. I
And one
like
thing that I love when you guys troop, when you're at a place like CradleCon, that kids get to see you dressed as a Wampa, and then if they go to the 501st table, they can see your trading card as a Wampa, right?
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah,
that's
that's
the way
the
that you
trading cards are a very big hit. Many of our members will make up trading cards of their costumes and the characters, for example. Uh-oh. And the kids will always come up to the table and they'll want, like a stormtrooper, they'll want a Wampa, they'll want
And also on the back, they also show a photo too of the person who dresses up.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. So, and then this way they could say, you know what? I met him, right?
Yep.
Like I
Like
got a
that's a
hug or I took
memory.
a picture.
Because that's
Right.
like you, the card is a memory. Even though if you didn't take a photo and you just hugged and had that moment, and even though you don't have the photo, you have the card to remember that. Like that awesome memory and that awesome interaction that you have with those people that are dressing up in these amazing costumes.
Yeah, I have a great story for you guys concerning the cards. Now, at every event where we have a table, we set up the tray where it has, all the cards of our members, and we allow the kids to come and take pretty much whatever cards they want, however many they want. And every year when we go to the Intrepid for their Kids Week, there's a young boy that comes up to the 501st table with a loose leaf notebook
Ah,
with all the cards in
wow.
in numerical order, and he's looking for the cards that he doesn't have yet.
Wow.
And if
That's
he
so
runs into like when he ran into me and he realized that that was my heavy weapons trooper card, he asked me to sign it. And it
man.
every
Yeah.
now and then, little things like that happen, and it's so much like we ran into him. We actually kind of noticed him for the first time 2 years ago. So this year when we were going, I actually dug through like boxes and boxes of cards that we have, looking for any of the more abstract cards that this kid might not have. And when he showed up at the table this year, we actually sat him down at the table and we let him go through everything to see if he could find any of the cards that he was missing.
Nice.
That's
That's
awesome.
so
I don't
nice.
think the kid's ever even seen Star Wars. He's just obsessed with the cards.
Sure, sure, sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, to see that, right? And it, I would imagine that that just makes it so rewarding because you're volunteering your time, you're paying for the costumes, the backdrops, right? I mean, the backdrops you guys pretty much put together with your own
Yeah,
funds.
well, we make the purchases. We'll reach out to the garrison and we'll say, hey, we need like, a couple $100 for a new backdrop. We'll ask the garrison for donations. Sometimes we'll have people donate things. Like you can see that 501st banner behind me. That was something we purchased, as a display piece, that we can hang up in certain places. Not always on the back of my door, but we bring it to events. Um, yeah, like the sets that we build, they're it's our money. We do this. We're not allowed to collect money. We don't, we're a completely volunteer charitable organization. We work basically under the good graces of Disney and Lucasfilm. They allow us to do what we do as long as we remain a charity community organization.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Do you have any final questions?
I think we're done here.
Okay. Is there anything that you wanted to?
Yeah, anything that you like, any other things that you want to mention, any tips that you want to give people that are listening if they decide to join after this?
Well, like I said before, if anybody's out there that wants to join the 501st, I highly recommend you reach out to your local garrison. That's definitely the best source. But I have something for you. All right. I want you to keep doing everything that you are doing. I want you to live out this dream that you are living. I can't tell you what an incredible pleasure it is to see you at every one of these events. I love the podcast. I think it's so much fun that you're doing this with your dad. My daughter and I have an incredibly close relationship, and I see that in you guys, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Every event that I find you guys at, the two of you are dressed similar. Like you're dressed as Ahsoka, your dad's dressed as Plu Clone. It's you guys are awesome. All
Every
right.
time when I dress up, he feels like he should dress up, so he tries to like go like a outfit that goes with my cosplay, and so usually when he's not dressed up, he carries everything like the equipment if I'm interviewing, like the
That's what dads do.
bow or anything like that. And when dad's usually in cosplay with me, mom has to carry everything. She's like, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." But yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you guys. You guys know I love you both. I love seeing you at all these events. It's always fun to watch you like come around the corner with your big smile and yeah, it's awesome. Just like I said, keep doing what you're doing, keep living your dream. Because
A light bulb just went off.
oh,
You said the first time you started trooping was when? What year?
2021.
And that was our first con we ever went to was in 2021. So we've been just doing this for a couple of years. We did
Yeah.
not grow up. My wife and I, we did not grow up in this Comic Con world.
Oh no,
We knew
yeah.
about it, but we
Yeah.
never went. We never cosplayed. We never did anything like that. And then comes along Star Wars, and we go to a con and we start seeing this whole other life.
And thank you for all the support that you're giving us and me. I love it every time when you support other people and especially me.
Yeah. Well, you deserve it. You earned it. All right.
Thank you for being our
Yeah.
very first
Yeah.
guest.
I love it. Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
Yep.
Now I forgot. This is Macsrebo sign off on Galaxy, far, far away.